So, I just got out of the turning, and I was so moved by this movie that I had to immediately record a reaction to Instagram. I'll let you hear it right now.
What's up, Instagram? I just got out of the turning. That was the most pointless piece of shit I think I've seen in a long time. Seriously, like, wow. I wanted to ask for my money back when I got done with the movie. It was that bad. Anyway, review coming.
And just to give a quick shout out, Johannes8844, he says, I'm thinking a new Drumdums rips a new AHole video is coming soon. And I said, you damn Skippy. The Turning stars Mackenzie Davis, Finn Wolfhard, and is directed by Floria Sigimandi. What's up, guys? We're well into January 2020. And we're off to a really bad start horror-wise. If you remember, I just reviewed The Grudge. That wasn't good. Now, The Turning. And both these movies were on my highly anticipated list. So I saw potential in the trailers. But oh my God, guys, you saw my reaction walking out of the theater seeing this movie. And I didn't expect that. I went into this movie optimistic. You know, there was some potential there. I thought this might have been kind of almost like artsy ghost story. But The Turning is what is wrong with horror today. And I'm not saying there aren't any good horror movies today. Hell no. There are some nice gems throughout. You know, Hereditary, for example. Watching movies like this, it just makes you wonder, how in the hell does stuff like this get greenlit? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. So just a lot of bad things going on in this movie. To sum it up, just really, really pointless for the most part. And it felt kind of unfinished, if I'm being honest. But anyway, first off, before I get ahead of myself, quick plot synopsis. Mackenzie Davis plays Kate. She is actually a teacher at the beginning of this movie. And then she ends up getting this job to kind of house sit, to take care of these two children, because both their parents have died, and the previous caretaker has also died. The very beginning of this movie, there's this quick scene with the previous caretaker. Her name was Jessel, and we just see her racing for the gate, trying to get the hell out of there. And so I'm thinking, okay, there's some potential here. This could be an interesting opening to the movie. And it's just real quick. And, you know, you see that obviously something bad really happens. And then it cuts to the present day of this movie. And the present day of this movie really is 1994. Right on the screen, you see that Kurt Cobain from Nirvana just died. Why is this movie set in the early 90s? Because I was expecting something along the way to spell out why this movie needed to be set in the early 90s. You know, that the plot would almost depend on it. No, this movie could have taken place in the present day. There was really no reason for this movie to take place in the early 90s. I'm thinking maybe because the book, The Turn of the Screw, maybe that came out around that time. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. But in the movie itself, needless. Now, the two children are Miles and Flora. Miles is played by Finn Wolfhard. Of course, we all know Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things. He's making a name for himself. He's going to be in the new Ghostbusters movie. And he is the biggest pain in the ass in this movie to Kate, played by Mackenzie Davis. And I thought that throughout this movie, there was going to be some breadcrumbs laid, and this was going to lead to something. Hey, I like evil child movies. The Good Son is a great example of a very effective evil child movie. So I expected some of that stuff in this. But the problem with this movie is there is none of that. This is an hour and a half of a kid being the biggest pain in the ass to the babysitter. Or she's not really the babysitter, she's the caretaker, but pretty much. That's really what this movie is throughout the whole thing. And I remember about an hour in, I'm just thinking, where is this going? We've made our point. We've laid the groundwork that this kid is a pain in the ass. Let's move on to Act 2. This whole movie feels like Act 1 with a lazy ending tacked on at the very end. And a very confusing and unfinished ending, if you ask me. Hey, I'm all about ambiguity in horror movies. You know I love it. But you got to leave me some breadcrumbs along the way so I can kind of form my own hypothesis at the end of this. And this was glaringly just lazy. That's all it was. It's like, we don't know what to do to finish this thing up. It's a mess up to this point as it is. So the only thing we can do here is just give you this ambiguous ending that makes no sense whatsoever. And guys, that's just part of my problems with this movie. Really, the big thing is it's boring. It's a really boring movie. There is no escalation throughout the whole thing. It is just riddled with pointless jump scares. And look, guys, I am not against jump scares if they're used effectively. There are a few moments in this movie at the beginning where they place a music cue, because really jump scares are unexpected music cues, you know, that heighten the tension. There are a couple scenes at the beginning where I thought if they didn't put music there, that would have been more effective. There's a scene with this like mannequin, and they had to freaking put like this jump scare music cue when the mannequin's head turned, and I thought if they didn't put that there, I think that would have been much more effective actually. And look, I get it. When you're making a movie, you're laying the tracks, you're in the trenches, you're doing what you can to get the movie finished. Sometimes you're so close to the project that you don't see the problems until way after the fact. And let me just say, Finn Wolfhard, not really good at all. He is just really one note, really annoying throughout the whole movie. And I say that because he's earned his stripes. He does a great job in Stranger Things. He's a great job as that character. But in this movie, he just did pretty much the same thing over and over. And I can't fully blame him as much as I have to blame the script itself. There's no like heightened tension with his character throughout the movie. He just really does the same thing over and over and is just a complete pain in the ass. And in the end, it all amounts to pretty much nothing. Mackenzie Davis is the one plus I can give this movie in the acting department. Her character was really stupid. And again, it's a problem with the script. But actually, as an actress, she does a great job. You know, if you put her in a movie that actually had a great script about somebody who starts going crazy and losing their mind, kind of like what Jack Nicholson did in The Shining. The Shining is a great story. Then you had the makings of something great here. You did. But unfortunately, she is in the most pointless story of this year so far. And I know we're only in January, but it's going to take a real stinker to dethrone this movie as the worst of the year. And I'll go ahead and say it, guys. Screw this damn movie. Looped in Hell. This is the first Looped in Hell I've given in a long time, and damn it, this movie deserves it. And you know what? Now that I've given you my rating, I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler, because this movie's so bad that I don't think you'll even care. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you don't want any spoilers, then get out of here. But you probably won't care. You should stay. You should really stay. The spoiler is there's this character that's built up throughout the movie named Quint. And he's supposed to be this guy that was just this sexual pervert, this piece of crap that was constantly antagonizing the previous girl, Jessel, and he ends up killing her, and then he gets killed by the cleaning lady. And in the end, all we see of this guy is pretty much just CGI crap fest bullshit. And his character doesn't even make sense because there's no big payoff, no big punchline to him finally being revealed. Instead, we get, is Kate crazy? You know, this cliche is Kate crazy ending, which is really stupid. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this movie if you did go see it. If you did go see it, I apologize. But one or two, you might like it out there, and I'm cool with that. Also, guys, if you're a member of Killer Flicks, you've probably seen the F Off Wade t-shirt. I gave the t-shirt a redesign with F Off Wade in the background. Of course, I spell it out. I'll say it, fuck off Wade. That's in the background, and then it actually says Killer Flicks below. So it's a slight redesign, but if you want that, you can get that at the Drumdums merch store, my Spreadshirt store. So I'll put a link for that right here, or right here. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays, we do Free For All Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.